I actually suggested that she could work with Mrs. Joy Kwesiga, who was the chairperson of ACFOD then, but the First Lady insisted that I stay because she wanted to work with me. This is Janet Museveni telling Miria Matembe, no, don't recommend any person. I want to work with you specifically. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there's a number of powerful figures in the Museveni's criminal regime who regularly find themselves at the center of public criticism. But there's one person who, for one reason or another, seems to escape the same level of scrutiny. And this is none other than Janet Kataaha Museveni, the president's wife. Despite being one of the most influential people in Uganda's political establishment, many Ugandans know surprisingly little about her life, her journey, and the role she plays behind the scenes. Well, today, that changes. Here at Mordecai Muriisa Live, we believe in digging beyond the headlines. And in our quest to better understand Janet Kataaha Museveni, we turn to someone who worked closely with Museveni's regime and know Janet Kataaha Museveni personally. And this is Miria Matembe, Uganda's former Ethics and Integrity Minister. In her book, The Struggle for Freedom and Democracy Betrayed, Matembe offers her own account of Janet Museveni's life and character. Born in 1948, Miria Matembe tells us and takes a reader on a close and personal journey through the woman who would become Uganda's First Lady. Now, whether you agree with Miria Matembe's views or not, her account provides a perspective that many Ugandans have never heard. So, who does Miria Matembe say Janet Kataaha Museveni really is? Let's get into the story, and I'll give you my commentary about a facade she's been portraying for quite some time. And tonight, we bring it down. Welcome to Mordecai Muriisa Live.
You're watching Mordecai Muriisa Live political commentary. Please consider subscribing to help grow Uganda's Voices of Struggle ecosystem. Thank you.
I cannot appreciate you enough for using your valuable time to always go on social media, break down things for people.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you remember Miria Matembe was abducted and detained at Mbuya military prison or barracks. And they accused her of spreading sectarian sentiments. I'm going to go on and show you the words she said that she was accused of being sectarianism. And we're going to connect dots and show you what they mean by sectarianism. Because Miria Matembe is a Munyankore. So was she spreading hate against her own tribe? It doesn't make any sense. But I'll show you what they actually mean. Listen to what she said here. Then we go back to the story.
Vayo nagamba ngwateeka kwenkyukakyuka. Kati watuuse wano government eggwanga lyonna n'ateeka mu mikono ya famire ye. N'aliteeka mu mikono y'amaka ge. Nga gafugibwa kati mutabani we bayita muhoozi. Mweche mutamanyi bakazi bonna bava nkole ba minister bonna bolaba bonna bava mu family ya president ya Museveni.
That's what she said. Many of them, those ministers come from Ankole, and many of them come from the family of Museveni. So to them, that was actually sectarianism. Now let's try to connect the dots here. I'm going to read you a few lines from this book. I want you to stick around. I saw many of you were like, hey, Mordecai, we want you more in-depth analysis on the book of Miria Matembe. She wrote me this one in 2020. She signed me a copy in 2020. Okay. I'm going to read you where she writes about the good times with the First Lady. This is page 216, the good times with the First Lady. This is what she said. And then we're going to get to how she's being accused. You're going to understand what they mean by sectarianism. She says, I became the First Lady's trusted confidant on work-related issues, and she always consulted me whenever she had a new project to do. She was very happy with the work I was doing for her. One profound incident that served to draw us closer and cement my relationship with her was the 1995 Women's Conference in Beijing to mark the Women's Decade. It was puzzling that Honorable Speciosa Kazibwe, the then Vice President and Minister for Gender who was in charge, did not deem Honorable Winnie Byanyima and I fit to be part of the 100-member government delegation to Beijing, despite the fact that we were outstanding women leaders who were doing a lot to uplift and the plight of women in Uganda. People wrote about it in the press, questioning the wisdom of leaving us out of the 100-member government delegation. However, since we were internationally acclaimed for our activism in the women's movement, Honorable Byanyima and I received our invitation straight from the United Nations headquarters in New York. We were on the program to address the NGO Forum plenary session, and I remember Byanyima addressed the plenary in one of the morning sessions while I addressed it after that afternoon. On the evening before I was meant to return to Uganda, I received a call from the PA of the First Lady, Janet. I understand that they had been frantically looking for me all over Beijing and had even been to the hotel where the Ugandan delegation was staying but could not find me since I was not part of the official government delegation. The First Lady asked me to stay on because she wanted me to help her, work on the speech she was going to present to the conference. When I told her I was scheduled to return to Uganda the next day, she wondered why I was returning home when the conference was just beginning. I told her that I had come specifically to address the NGO Forum plenary and was not funded to attend a government delegate. She wondered how I, of all people, could have been left out of the government delegation. I actually suggested, stick around. I know this might sound boring to you, but I'm trying to show you how close they were, okay? In regard to the logistical challenges, she said she would get back to me. And indeed, at midnight, I received a call from her. She told me that she would send her PA to pick me up next day, and I went to stay with her in the State Lodge in Beijing. During my stay, we shared a lot together, and in fact, that was the time when I really got close to her. Every evening, we sat in the sitting room and talked about many things. It was also the time when I got to know how close the First Lady was with God. That's a lie. I'm going to have to show you here. I admired her relationship with God and wished to be like her. Down the road, I eventually became born again myself before the end of 1995. And I must admit that her deep knowledge of God played a big role in inspiring me to return to the Lord. Now, Janet Museveni uses religion or faith as a weapon, as a cudgel. She doesn't believe it because people who believe in God don't do what they do. They don't become greed. They don't insist on keeping this power with firm grip, where your husband employs dictatorial and violent tactics to keep power. What kind of God are you serving? Okay, we continued working well together. Now, let's go here. Let's go here. No longer I read you that to give you some sort of a foundation of how connected they were. They were this close. Janet Kataaha Museveni and Miria Matembe here. This is called, I think, subtitled, it's called No Longer at Ease with the First Lady. Why? After I had been appointed minister, the First Lady called me to her home and we had a cup of tea. She told me that she was very happy that I was finally minister. Like me, she was also particularly excited that I had been given the mantle of fighting corruption and building ethics and integrity in public office. Now you see Mohozi Kenrugaba pretending and but we fight corruption. They don't mean a thing. That is all for PR stunts. This is the woman who really, really wanted to fight corruption. Listen, she told me a story that involved corruption that had touched her. It was about a woman at Mulago Hospital whose uterus was about to be removed because her documentation had been misplaced and no health worker there would look for it unless they were paid a bribe. Luckily for that woman, someone intervened and her uterus was saved. The First Lady went on to say that she wanted to join hands with me to fight the scourge of corruption in Uganda. Same rhetoric with her husband. I want to believe that probably she's the one who tells Museveni, go tell these people, this time round we fight corruption. It's been a chorus for 40 plus years now. Corruption is still the number one cause of the dysfunction you see in Uganda. Here we go. The First Lady went on to say that she wanted to join hands. Okay, I think I read you that. This was music to my ears, fighting corruption. This is Matembe telling us. It was an indicator that my campaign against corruption would succeed now, that I do not only have the goodwill of the First Lady, but that she was willing to actually join the fight herself. I was truly exhilarated and my characteristic naive innocence, I told her, listen, she was extremely happy and she's naive and she's innocent. She tells her, Janet, now that you are joining me to fight corruption, I am confident that we will succeed. In fact, the office of the president and state house, this is where our fight against corruption must start. This is Miria Matembe speaking. It is very difficult to describe how her face changed in a split second. All of a sudden, her countenance switched. If she had been a white person, her face would have turned pale. She stared at me with an open mouth as if I was from Mars. And then she asked, State House? And the office of the president? Do you mean here? Yes, madam, I replied, Matembe says. You know this issue of Uganda Commercial Bank, UCB? In fact, I had wanted to meet the president and talk to him about it. People are reporting that General Saleh, Museveni's brother, General Saleh, is involved. Also, in other high-profile corruption cases, people are pointing fingers at Honorable John Kazora and Honorable Sam Kutesa. This is Miria Matembe telling her, Janet Kataaha. Kataaha interjected, and asked me which Honorable Kazora I was talking about. I replied that I was talking about the Honorable John Kazora from Muntungamo, her uncle and guardian. Talk about speaking truth to power. What an amazing woman. I added that people are talking about Honorable Ruchikire in connection to the UCB, Uganda Commercial Bank issue. They say he knows what is going on. Honorable Ruchikire was at the time the Minister of Privatization, which was handling the sale of UCB. I told her that these were high-profile people and therefore I needed to tell the president about the case. I asked her to help me get an immediate appointment with him. But then her face had totally changed. She looked at me angrily and said, This is Janet Kataaha speaking to Miria Matembe. Matembe, niwe buzima oli ombintu omubi byabiru nabahima hatushi nyowe okukweta ahurire biri niwe obirofire. I'm going to read that again. If you're Munyankore, you know what she's saying. Matembe, niwe buzima oli ombintu byabiru nabahima hatushi nyowe okukweta ahurire biri niwe obirofire. Meaning, Matembe, are you also involved in this nonsense of Ubiru against Bahima? I thought you were a sensible person whom I could confide in, but it seems you are also hopeless and useless. That's Janet Museveni. That's Janet Museveni for you. She says, I thought I could confide in you. What does she mean? Matembe is telling Janet about the corruption, thievery from these people. And she's like, oh, I thought, oh, you're also spoiled. Oh, you're hopeless. You're also stupid. I thought I would confide in you. I should be protecting the corruption of my people. Let's go on here. Listen, Matembe writes, I was so shocked and dumbfounded. And I asked her how the issue of the Biru and Bahima, historical rivalry between the two subgroups of Banyankore, had come into the matter. She answered, you can't be serious. You mean you want to waste Musei's time with this nonsense? What nonsense? Thievery. Excuse me, corruption from those people. Janet Kataaha calls it nonsense. All of this while, I thought you were someone of substance, but you were just like those who are involved in that nonsense of persecuting Bahima. Look at the names you have given me. Kazora, Kutesa, Salim Sare, Ruchikire. Don't you see? Now, Janet Kataaha wasn't mentioning these names because they were not corrupt. No. She was pretty much, the subtext of her statements are, of those sentences are, we can prosecute Biru and other people from other tribe, but you cannot prosecute Kutesa, you cannot prosecute Ruchikire, you cannot prosecute Kazora or Salim Sare. You can't do that. So that's why. It's like, you're hopeless and stupid. See the people you're targeting. She writes, that was very shocking to me. I said, I'm very sorry, Mama. Mama? Up to now, they call her Mama. I didn't intend to appear like that because the issue of Biru and Bahima has never been part of my life, even as I grew up. After all, I come from Kashari, where we are a combination of both. She went on, how does Uncle Kazora come into this? And Kutesa? What about Salim Saleh? These are people who have sacrificed a lot for this country. Yeah. These people have sacrificed a lot. You can let them steal. Let them plunder our country because they've sacrificed a lot for Uganda. I was so shocked and lost for words. I managed to say, Madam, I am sorry that this is how you perceive the issue I have raised. For me, when you said you would help me and be a key ally in my work, I candidly opened up to you. I thought I could confide in you so that you are aware of the reports out there. Now, listen, she was very happy and she looked at her that like a person she would confide in. I'm referring to Miria Matembe. Confiding in her for all the right reasons, for honesty, for accountability. Janet Museveni's desire to confide in Matembe was rooted in hiding corruption of the family and friends of Janet Kataaha. You see? This is Kataaha you don't know. Here we go. Before I left, she said, okay, Matembe, I will also carry out my own investigation to find out if Salim Saleh is involved in UCB sales scandal. She promised to call and tell me what she would find out. Although she never called to tell me what came out of her own investigation, within 2 weeks after our meeting, it came to light that Salim Saleh was irregularly involved in buying and selling UCB, which caused a big loss to the country. Also, Honorable Sam Kutesa was later to be censured by Parliament over corruption, while the good Honorable Ruchiki resigned his ministerial position over the sale of UCB. He was the only honorable man. It is now widely known that Honorable Ruchiki was not corrupt and was only culpable for failing in his oversight role as Minister for Privatization to detect the fraudulent deals that went on. As a matter of fact, when it was finally revealed that UCB scandal involved Salim Saleh and later Sulaiman Chigundu, Honorable Chikile came to see me in my office to seek my guidance as Minister for Ethics and Integrity as to what he should do. He confided in me that he didn't know that there was fraudulency in the sale of UCB or even that Saleh was involved. I advised him to resign since it was the most honorable thing to do in those circumstances because the Member of Parliament were ready to censure him anyway. He wondered if resignation would not imply that he was guilty. I told him to make a statement telling the country what exactly happened and to also apologize for the mess in his ministry and own up to his falling short in the supervision of his ministry to the extent that serious businesses like the sale of UCB went on without his full involvement and awareness of the details. After our meeting, Honorable Chike wrote his statement and delivered it to Parliament. Up to now, he can stand in public with his head held high because he was exonerated from corruption. The only honorable person was Matthew Ruchikire. Kazora, Salim Saleh, Sam Kutesa, they were all corrupt. It is unbelievable. This is the true Janet Kataaha Museveni that you don't know. She has that facade, a veneer, a phony personality she wants to sell. Oh my God, my God, my God. Ooh, my name is Janet. See me. Oh, when I was growing up, my mother told me. Oh, that's a lie. Oh, that's a lie. She wants to present herself as this holy woman. Oh, she's soft and humble and no. She protects the corrupt. She defends. Like right now, Mohozi orders the abduction, the killing and torturing of innocent people. He even prides in that. He posts and says, we've killed 22 of NUP, Bobby Wine supporters. We want to kill Bobby Wine to be the 23rd. You woman of God, Janet Kataaha, what is she doing? Just dead silent. Come on. That's the image she's trying to sell. Oh, I am a Christian. And then there's I think I saw them trying to do an interview. I think it was her and her daughter, one of her daughters. Oh, tell us, Mama. Now, Mama, when you were growing up, Mama, tell us. I looked at them and I'm like, this is all fake, funny. Nobody's buying it. Nobody was watching it. Zero. No audience at all because people could read the facade and the phony, this character you're trying to sell to the Ugandan people. And it is even sad that, you'd have Janet Museveni and Museveni himself, who came from total poverty and obscurity to ascend to positions of power, but want to behave like elite oh, I am no. The best way to go and, interact with the Ugandan people, those that are downtrodden, those that are less privileged, those that are broken. We are a third world country. There's nothing special about you. But even if we were not, even in the USA, there's nothing special. When they say, oh, this is an elite class, these people are special, there's nothing special. In the end, you're going to die. So of what importance is your special character? Let us see you. Let us be afraid of you. Zero. Be humble. Talk to people, interact with them, help them. But she uses religion as a cudgel, as a weapon. Oh, see me. Let me pretend like I care about God. They don't. Actually, Muhoozi Kainerugaba, who kills people, believes that he's a descendant of Jesus Christ. You can't make these things up. Oh my God. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. My name is Mordecai Muriisa. If you want me to read you more about this, down in the comment section, tell me, and I'll be so glad. Hey, before you go, are you subscribed to our feed? Then like this video, comment down in the comment section, and please become a channel member by just hit that join button, and then you'll be able to give me a tip at the end of the month, if you are able to. My name is Mordecai Muriisa. I'll see you when you see me. Bye-bye.
Did you enjoy what you just watched?
I'm sure they did.
I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Muriisa Live YouTube channel? Thank you.